quick mic check and make everything sound good.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Just like talk for a second.
Yeah,
what
I
are we
can talk.
doing here?
Yeah. Well,
saying things.
we're here to do a stream, and I'm trying to crank out an email before we get going. And
I'm browsing the internet, wasting time.
yeah.
Trying to make the day go by quicker.
Yeah, off camera. What the hell? You're hiding.
Yeah.
You just gonna leave me out here all
camera.
alone? I mean, I can like take up the whole space here, but
I'm nosy.
yeah.
Hello.
I'm on camera now.
Yeah. We're like in the top corner, so you
okay.
kind of see from the top corner that we're all there. Yeah. Matt, are you also gonna be on camera?
I will be. I'm gonna try to throw on a second camera for a quick second. That is our, me, I guess. Because
Okay.
there's no functional way to play games
Yeah.
from the lounge area.
Yeah.
But, you know, we're already, like, kind of running late, and I just, figured, hey, well, that's Dejeuner. Hi, Dejeuner.
Hi.
That's not what I intended,
Yeah.
but, you know, make
Sorry,
it work.
Dejeuner, you can't hide.
Yeah,
I
you're not
can't.
allowed.
I cannot.
She's like front and center for our D&D streams. Clearly, we've got our equipment all set up. So why is that not existing? Oh my god. Alright, so anybody who has Prism experience, you wanna like come over to SIU and help me? 'Cause that'd be rad.
Oh boy, do you just?
I don't have that. So I was like,
Not that I'm
good on me.
expecting help, but you know, if
I thought
anybody-
I thought that was you. I thought it was
Yeah.
you. No.
No, I could put
Oh,
the
there we
pictures
go.
in.
There we go.
I could put the pictures
It's
in.
not. You can't do it. I certainly cannot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I have
no, it's
not
cool. I got
touched
me.
getting the inputs to
Mm.
connect. I wish I had, because I've done something like that. It's okay.
Sweet. Well, I should only take as much space as half of you, right? That only tracks. So there we are without any nice like borders or outlines or anything.
Oh gosh.
Perfect.
Yeah. You're so ready.
Cool. So I think we're ready to go.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'll be moving
Hello.
around, taking videos of us, and sitting near you guys too.
Okay.
So,
cool.
okay.
Yeah, I'll scooch over so if you ever want.
Only like a minor delay, but you know, welcome to the DXL stream. I think commentary is mostly going to be handled by Prime and Renee. And I'm gonna grab a coffee before, not like leave the room, but grab my coffee that I already prepared, because I have one thing prepared, and it's that. And let's talk about some game jam games.
Is there?
So ready.
You two want to take it away, and I'll start playing?
Oh, sure. Okay, so I believe this was one of the, like, highly awarded games, Matt, if you remember.
Yeah, I can pull up the specifics here before we start playing. I know we need interactive fiction practice all queued up, but our results, Dead Man in Your Suitcase really just absolutely smashed it.
Is that what we're starting with?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know we've got most compelling narrative, best use of ludic elements, most innovative narrative, all over the place. Took a lot of our awards, so you know happy to get started with it.
Cool. And hey Matt, would it be possible if we turned that TV so we can see it a little better? As long as you can see everything from your
Yeah,
side.
give it a rotate.
Cool. So we don't look crazy staring at the
Yeah,
camera
no, it's
all the
just
time.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Does it look better, guys?
Yeah.
Smeller, yeah. Okay. Yeah, no, right off the bat with this game we noticed just kind of like the graphics aesthetic that's going here, and all that like maybe shader work, whatever, gave us a lot of like, oh, you know, old, you know, little game consoles and stuff like that. Which that was really fun. And the limited color palette kind of makes you focus on the narrative and your task.
I really like the way that this game moves, the motion of it. Even though it's kind of draggy with the click, I like the way that the rain is going against the wind.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
By the mountains. And then the dead body in the suitcase, you can't miss that.
No,
Right? That's
no, not at all. Yeah. Really should just invest in some duct tape, I think, but
just does a little Batman reveal.
yeah. You She's spooky a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Doesn't have a face, it appears. So if I'm not mistaken, the goal of this game is to make it so you can bury the body before anyone finds out.
Yeah.
Right.
I think so. Yeah. Or at least, get it through this train ride to get to a new spot. Yeah. Quick.
I hate when that happens. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna lie to her. Well, it's not lying. But
It's
she scared me a
not
little bit.
signal,
So
it's
when I played through this, I was always like, whatever you want to know. Just don't ask me too many questions.
Oh, she's saying that, or?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's her saying.
Oh, she
yeah,
just buried.
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. No, when we first played through this, we were like, man, it'd be nice to have some, like audio so we could listen to her
Yeah.
talk. And then when we played, we were like, wait a minute, that's a bit of a challenge because we have to watch her, but so we can't always just be staring at the suitcase.
Right.
So that was.
Is she wearing like a black veil?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that what
Her
that is?
husband
Okay.
died. She
Yeah,
was
that's
very
now
much-
that
Yeah,
I'm
yeah. So everyone's having to model another face, which is, stellar to conveniently cut down that workload in a game jam.
I think you were saying this too, like how much better it'd be on VR.
Yes.
Like
Oh
that would
yeah.
be a drag.
Yeah. No, we're big VR enthusiasts over here, so one of our immediate thoughts was like, this would be such a cool game, like in VR. It would alleviate a little bit that mechanic of having to like drag yourself around the screen. But
I also do feel like the sound would be a nice touch, kind of like you could then hear the briefcase opening with the panic and then come back.
Yeah. No, it'd be interesting how many audio cues you want to give someone.
Yeah.
Because, the more cues they've got, where, you hear maybe the woman talking or the suitcase opening. That makes it easier.
Yeah,
because
right,
you can
right.
rely on another sense instead of just looking around.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like a fun balance to play with a little bit here. Where we were initially like, wait, where's these things I'm expecting to hear?
Right.
But like,
Sounds,
maybe I'm not supposed to hear them on purpose. But sadly, we can't. I know there are some like background effects and noises in this, some ambiance that we can't listen to today because we had some audio technicality issues.
And the thing with the PC fan, we've been running into that with every PC we try to run it on. So you guys might need to just talk up a little bit.
Oh, that's okay. That's not a problem. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear. We've got the fan on our PCs whirring a little bit, especially with this game.
Comes in burst.
But yeah, so.
So what is like how do you lose? I know at the very beginning they ask, but like they ask if you just want to tell her. But did you like have like a more?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So
how'd you see it through?
the way you
I can lose really quick.
Yeah. Is
Or win.
yeah.
Yeah. Or
Oh, this is a path I never got to.
Yeah.
But yeah, you lose when your suitcase opens all the way, and then she can like see there's a dead body in there. And obviously, like calls the authorities or something.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah. But yes, the idea is, gotta make it through however long this train ride.
Oh, so that.
How will you describe it? Oh crud, oh crud, oh crud, oh crud. You have to like click on the side of the suitcase. Yeah, or like the main side, yeah. The veil's really in our favor, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
So sorry about her husband, but thank
Right.
God she's got that on.
Doesn't find it sketchy that he keeps going like,
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah. Oh. Oh.
Oh,
I don't know
she knows.
Yeah, I never know whether I should like relate to her and be like, oh, yeah, that's true.
Because you don't want to talk
like,
too much, but you don't want to be like,
Yeah, you can't just be like, I am so straight-laced, I would never do such a thing in
Right,
my life. Because then, you get a little more suspicious that way.
Yeah. Oh. Oh.
Hey.
Yeah, we survived.
Succeeded.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put us on a quick hold screen. We'll just tweak some things. Be back in a sec.
All right, welcome back. Hopefully you guys can hear us a little bit better now. But yeah, warning for all of these games, we don't have any game audio set up. So unfortunately, there's some really fun sound design we're missing out on a little bit. Okay, cool.
But use your imagination.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, moving on to our next game.
The runner-up. This is the second one, correct?
Yeah.
Second
Yeah.
place.
Out of how it's, kind of arranged everything.
This one is also, if I recall, more of like a narrative than it is a playable game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And that's something we might get into is, the fine line between, okay, is it just like a, clickable, narrative or, how gamey do you get between them two? But yeah. All right. There we go. Yeah. Always got to be full screen. Oh, wow. I got to say, I love the background art in this one. This picture here. It's just so, soft, really captures the, sitting at a campfire, cozy sort of thing.
By the lake.
Yeah. And in the flash they did with the, where the screen flashed when you took a picture, that was really smart. I like that. Because I was also confused until they explained what was going on.
So they're like a camp type thing?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah. Giving, scouts at a campfire, Hopefully there's not too many bugs. But yeah. I know when I played through this the first time, I was like, what do you mean, a building on the hill? What are you talking about? And then I had to, there was some glare on my screen, and I was like, oh, there is a building on the hill. And so,
Oh, I actually did not just
Yeah,
see that
yeah,
building.
it's actually there that they're talking about.
I thought that was just an awkward tree.
No, there's, actually a little building on the hill. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's all connected,
Okay.
And it's kind of funny, it really puts you in the scene, I think, a little bit.
Yeah.
And that nice little detail touch.
Well, immediately I want to know what's in that house, right?
Right,
I can't not know.
Yeah.
So hopefully they go there.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I think the biggest thing, when at least in the opening that I was confused about was, the clangs or the clanks, I think that they were called. It took me a minute to get what they were talking about. And I almost wonder if that could even just be capitalized as proper nouns when they were talked about in the beginning. Then I'd get that more that they're a thing or a group or something. But yeah. Now once again, I loved the painted backgrounds in this. I think it just looks really pretty.
I'm glad they included calling it the prologue. This has such a, I don't know if I can pick up over there, but there's such a promise of an amazing story here.
Yeah.
And I know, Prime, you're writing a larger piece that's more of a traditional hero's narrative. So as far as an inciting incident, right, a first act, a prologue, how does this fare?
I mean, honestly, it does pretty good. It's establishing a lot of things. So I like how it's established the fact that this is kind of a secondhand story, a retelling. And this part right here, as it's coming in, I like that they are adding a robot, I believe it is, in what is otherwise just animals. They have set up all the questions very well. And I'm very curious. Now we just have to see how they elaborate on them.
Yeah.
What was that scroll that just came out of his arm?
It's a little, I don't know, he's like a little receipt. I thought that was really funny that came out. But yeah, it's his little error log or something. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, when we loved this book, when we were playing through the game the other day, we just thought this was really funny because, it's just a little technical diagram, the instructions that come with, your little, your new piece of technology, but it's, written in this really fancy way as if, it's almost kind of been idolized or is, mysterious and needs to be decoded, which is true.
And again, like you said, their attention to detail is insane. This, every single thing seems very, very much so on purpose.
Yeah, and it's creating those questions. Wait, why does it look like this? Why is your instruction manual so fancy?
Right. Yeah. That was closer to kind of a ancient religious text.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I I super want to second that comment about Final Fantasy IX from the chat. Like,
Oh yeah,
by
yeah.
heart, I absolutely agree. And I don't think like the music is coming through extremely well.
Yeah.
But it's beautiful.
It's beautiful,
and
yeah.
calm, And then after playing through, seeing the two characters.
Yeah, classic right to repair.
Yeah.
That's all this is.
It's really like what you would expect. Yeah.
Say it louder.
Oh, okay. I said this is just a classic right to repair game right here.
So she's gonna. So they're gonna.
Apple is the villain inside the big house.
They're going to take the robot to the towers to fix it.
Yeah.
Is the gist of it. Okay.
And so next queued up, we're gonna jump to what I should have prepared. I believe we had Kingdom of Ash next.
Sounds right.
Oh, don't worry, no one would ever poison our computer.
Yeah. It'll be fine.
I already like the vibe.
That's some good art.
All right.
That's nice.
Dystopian, I assume.
This one I haven't played through. Matt, is there a way to make that gameplay capture a little bit bigger?
Possibly.
Yeah. I only say for us over here on the couch because I'm gonna struggle to read that.
Let's just do more live editing.
Yeah.
Well, and that's kind of the thing with the Game Jam games. You know, they're made quick. There's no good way to get everybody set up. That should be an improvement.
Yeah.
That
yeah,
is,
So
yeah.
I have to do it like bespoke per game as we're going here
Yeah.
with little demos. And actually, I'll pull it back a little bit so it doesn't like overlap with the chat and things. How's that looking?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Cool.
You see?
Yeah. All right.
So, you all want to call out or you want me to play?
Ooh. Let's see. Okay.
Well, I want to know where this place is, but also I want to say my head hurts because it seems like he's ignoring the question. Then I always think that's funny.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Okay. Glue Man. All right, cool. I'm gonna start saying that for doctors from now on.
Prime, have you ever written a story all in dialect?
No, I like started to on my last script, and then I was like, I can't keep this up. Like, but I do plan on doing that. Going back and like rewriting it that way.
Well, I mean, this game, I love that you can always enter a custom name. But I have done a few in the past, and the big lesson, apparently I can't spell and speak at the same time. The big lesson was to kind of front load it.
Mm-hmm.
You'll see that a lot in novels especially, and it kind of eases up, and you drop in those keywords and you make use of it. But this game does an excellent job as a visual. Well, I think this was made by lab staff who was not a part of the voting process, but it meant I could get some artist statements.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to be front loaded with that dialect, and it eases off, and it makes for a very good read. But we need to have a chat with the creator of the game to see what that process was like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it is clear. I can tell that there's something different, but I want to know what was the change.
Yeah.
Is this dystopian America? Is this dystopian different? Like, you know.
Oh, you're in for a
New
treat.
world.
I'm glad that both of you are going into this one like totally blank.
Yeah. Yeah. Glue Man. Okay.
But even dialect and replacing of words, it's a really good like temporal movement
Mm-hmm.
out of reality or current times.
Yeah.
Oh, you knew that.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I think I would also call him Glue Man.
Yeah, right?
Yeah. What? That's so mean. Terrible bedside manner.
Yeah. Cut and dry.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean, don't out yourselves all at once, but like well, and Renee, you're kind of our expert on software design. Prime,
Mhm.
you're more of our expert on narrative.
Mm.
As far as like structuring a scene, how's this faring?
It's not bad, right? So the initial thing was that his ears were busted because the tank exploded, forcing him to go to a doctor. And this doctor, he's just not a good. He's a glue man, not even a doctor. So he's not very good at his job. So I could see that conflict is boiling up, for sure. I want the glue man to have a little more character though. Like I want to know why he's like this. Why is he not helping? I guess you could say, you know. And it wasn't when he said he was going to the glue man. He wasn't like, I guess I'm going to the glue man. I'm gonna just be confused all day. I don't know what their relationship's like.
Oh, this is a really good mirror.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
Maybe the doctor was so bad that like my scar broke the mirror upon looking at it. Yeah. You know, he's clearly like, oh, that's my scar up in that corner there. Okay. I see it. Okay. Uh-oh.
We're getting, I mean, seeds is the opportune word, but we're getting kind of that seeding of character information slow here off of a cold open.
Interesting.
Oh, okay. So currency. I'm assuming now that there is a food scarcity. So having seeds is a good thing.
I feel like if I tell him too much about myself, he'd like kidnap me and lock me in the basement.
Yeah, he looks like a lack in the basement kind of guy.
Yeah.
You think that's the world we're in? Well, and like,
That's
so
always the
right,
world.
media literacy,
Mm.
what are the clues that are putting that off? Because, I mean, this art is absolutely fantastic.
Mhm.
It's doing a lot of work that the script isn't. The script is very, stripped down, focused on the scene, and the visuals are making up for it.
Preparing for the end times. But yeah. I think it's a lot of that like kind of like lack of color in the background, everything, it's either really light or really dark, so there's no like softness to it, even though there is those like gradients, A debt to the community. Wow. Oh, I guess because he just got stitched up. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't tell if it's like a debt to the community because this is, the apocalypse and we're all here together, or because I just stitched up your head for maybe free. But
Isn't it always fun to be granted a quest?
yeah. Oh.
That's
Okay,
nice,
so
yeah.
there is a map.
Like I said,
Yes.
like it's such a treat that you guys haven't checked this out, and
Yeah.
I don't want to, again, out too many members of our program, but all of these names, well, good majority of these names are references to our fellow MFAs, so that's lovely.
I was going to like the Call of Duty transition screen.
Oh, this is us like walking there.
Oh.
And Renee,
That's cool.
you are in animation courses.
Yeah.
What's your take on using kind of like a slideshow like that?
I think, you know, like at first, you know, you're like, oh, is this a loading screen? But I think something that could like be really subtly done to like keep that slideshow, because I think it's like a great way to simply kind of, you know, give like you have to walk around now. You can't just, you know, snap, be where you are. Let's us enjoy the environment. But like, even if there was a way to, you know, like give like a bobbing up and down of those photos, so it's like the steps. Oh, geez.
Uh-oh.
I like your color palette. Let's see.
Yeah, that's something.
I have played this a couple times. Expedite.
Sure, I guess we technically have a name.
We have a name.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very defensive.
Oh, okay.
That tracks.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Ah, was this the lady we were supposed to meet?
Definitely just sent you off. Like, what do you expect from the
Yeah.
Blue Man?
Yeah. I can't trust him.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Love it. Just
Ah.
amazing.
Wow.
This conversation is very passive.
Yeah. In what capacity?
Well, it just seems like they're kind of dancing around. Like, why is he here? Isn't he here to get plants of some sort from the seeds?
Yeah, you're delivering the seeds as, you know, a recompense for medical treatment.
Yeah.
And what is he supposed to be bringing back? Neophytes, that is.
Assumedly confirmation that you've completed the quest.
Okay. Yeah, so they should really just. So she's really not trying to let that happen. That's a bit
Yeah.
passive, though. Yeah.
Just like the character art, the consistent art style, I'm fairly confident that this is all AI art. Like fairly confident, and just getting that consistent like color palette and art style,
Yeah.
that's sort of like
Yeah.
sketchy, like slightly unrealisticness to them is absolutely
Yeah.
lovely.
Right, and that's why I'm so like trying to figure out when this is and what world this is in, because everything seems right on the border of reality, you know.
Trying to be positive.
Yeah.
This guy really is at the trash.
Yeah, I have a feeling there's a lot to pick up in a world where things are maybe always on fire.
Right.
I think we saw some of that when we were walking around. Oh, we actually like get to pick up stuff.
The little gameplay mini games.
Yeah.
No, it's cool, yeah.
Fantastic. Little extra.
I wonder what happened if we like didn't pick up everything
Yeah.
and then said the map was clear. Since we had that option the whole time.
There should be an option that's like just like hide everything under the car.
Yeah. But yeah, maybe even like maybe some like footstep walking with this would like just immediately convey like, oh, this is me traveling and this is what I see.
I'd also like if there were like kind of times when it stopped in the middle, like you just got attacked, so you had to figure that out first before you keep going.
Well, it also does kind of like leave you vulnerable a little bit, because who's to say that sequence could be cut short at any time? because you don't know exactly
Yeah.
when it's gonna end.
Can't get comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you're never gonna be able to get out of the contract with the Glue Man.
Yeah, no.
He's
His
got
name
you
is
good.
Glue Man.
Yeah,
You stick to him.
You stick to him, exactly.
And I think at the end of that there, we're gonna go ahead and switch off and jump to our next game, but Kingdom of Ash goes on for a little bit. It's fantastic, and I recommend downloading it to check out the rest of the game. But let's go ahead, we'll jump to our next one.
I'm so into it.
Which can possibly maybe be full screen, but probably not. So I'm going to continue to stretch out our canvas.
Live edit live.
Yeah. And absolutely ruin that 4x3.
Can't even tell the difference.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, I know. Absolute professionalism.
Mm-hmm.
We're not called Neophyte Studios for nothing. I'll just leave it at that. You know what? Can we get some voice acting?
Oh,
for the
God.
characters, please?
Oh,
You guys
jeez.
talk like a puppet.
Please, whatever you think is
you
right.
You can lead.
Oh, gee. Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah, I'll just like lead. It'll be
Yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Okay, what is? Oh, jeez. Okay, it's been a hot minute since I've read Hamlet, but.
You foul spirit! Ghostbusters Bernardo! Marcellus and Horatio are here to eliminate you!
Wait a second. Is this Hamlet's deceased father?
Doesn't matter! Catch him!
Oh, rats.
I think you might have failed.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I thought I was just disappearing. I was like, this is exactly what's supposed to be happening.
I don't know who said that.
Maybe we should tell Hamlet.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. The beginning is who's saying. Okay, got it. Ah. Yeah, he's dead. So what now?
Hamlet, he wouldn't want you to suffer so much because of his passing.
You're right. Oh, this is like the trio of them saying it. Got
I
it.
know, I'm so confused. What?
Yeah,
Okay,
so
okay.
do that really quick. Figure that one out.
3 different voices.
Need 3 people.
Yeah, okay, we
So
gotta
you
say
guys-
it together. We gotta say
Yeah.
it together and
Oh,
pretend to someone else is
like
saying
back
it.
and
Matt, you
forth
can
at the
join in
same
on
time?
this. We're all gonna
Okay.
say it together, okay? Hamlet!
Your father? Oh, he's
dead.
dead.
Kind
Kind
of
of alive,
alive,
but still
still
dead.
dead.
To put it simply,
here's
he's
the
a ghost.
Nailed it.
That was really
That was
good.
What?
I knew we shouldn't have told Hamlet. Me and Hamlet are in a romantic relationship.
Disgusting!
I don't like it either.
Father, why aren't you on the other side?
Because I was murdered. Woo!
Stylistic choice, but we can't go back.
But who?
The answer is somewhere nearby. Boo!
And like, if it's not clear from the mechanics, right, it leaves you with these open-ended scenes, and it's on the player to, select through the different interactables to kind of like find the next line.
Yeah.
It's fun, like as far as gameplay mechanics are concerned, it's fun and simple, and it's just a little bit of interaction to deliver that dialogue.
Right.
Well. It's time for a puppet show for adults. We'll finally find out if my father's words are truth.
Hamlet, have you gone insane? Fell in love and now you think it's appropriate to go by without even saying hello.
It seems you're right, Uncle. Maybe I should clear my mind a little. Allow me to invite everyone into the theater. Yeah. Oh, we're inviting everybody.
Huge. It's party.
We're so gracious.
All right. Good host.
Yeah. Hamlet, we can't be together. You're a Scorpio and I'm an Aquarius.
Successfully
Yeah.
stopped.
Have you lost your mind? Paramedics are already on their way.
Oh, okay, we get to pick now.
Oh.
Oh.
All right, Hamlet, let's speak your truth.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. We can just call him out.
Yeah?
Yeah, you know what? Oh, we just said it, okay. Oh. And here she is, the partner in such a despicable crime.
Hamlet, stop!
How dare you?
Seems like we have a rat here. Oh, push?
Snitching.
Oh, we made him go. Oh my god!
My goodness.
Oh no!
Oh, poor Ophelia.
No!
Laertes, your family is dead, and Hamlet is the reason. Ophelia has killed herself, couldn't bear the loss of her father. Poor girl.
Hamlet, you'll pay for this.
That's good.
Thank you.
So what now, Yorick? My father is dead, just like you are. Hope you'll meet each other on the other side. Shing!
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Laertes, I accidentally killed your father. Sorry about that.
Shing! It's okay, I forgive you, and I lose my life with your mother. Oh, and I lose my life with your mother since she couldn't drink from her own glass.
Uncle, are you tired of me? Don't worry. You get enough rest in the coffin.
Just erase everything.
Oh, my God. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, everyone
I mean,
died.
that's kind of how it ends. Yeah, no, it's not bad.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
Yeah. Owner of socks, I love that.
My goodness.
That was
So that was
Beautiful
Hamlet's
way.
sock. I mean, we can talk a brief second about, adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I think they nailed it. Like,
They did,
I got
yeah.
no notes.
Like,
The gameplay was, super served its purpose and mild and fun, and just to be kind of like that jokey take on a well-known story.
yeah.
but it delivers the story, actually.
I think like if I was like, oh, you want to go see a sock puppet play of Hamlet, this is what I would expect. Yeah,
mhm.
exactly.
And great voice acting overall.
Oh yeah. Yeah. The audio for this game, oh man,
Mhm.
yeah, really stellar.
I promise the live editing will not end. That is my promise. to you.
Ah, that's good.
Oh no, I already did Deadman in Suitcase. My labeling is terrible. Okay, we still have 2 in the folder, and the rest were all browser based.
All right.
All right.
And
Well, also fair when we have to leave at 3.
yeah,
So.
we'll give another zoom, and then we'll switch back to me. We'll have to reset, move the mic,
Mhm.
things of that nature. I'm so sorry for the editing. But this guy was my favorite by far. Let's go. Oh, keyboard. A really great take, and we're not going to get to see like a ton of this. I'll try to give everyone a good taste. But the use of first of all, non-Western mythology is fun. Big fan of that for kind of a paranormal story. It's a good mystery, good characters, and good use of RPG mechanics. Nice, simple, unique, kind of odd art style.
Mhm.
Really, really fit my particular taste.
I like the music a lot.
Yeah. It's sort of kind of 16-bit, but
Mhm.
made in RPG Maker.
Yeah. It's eerie, nonetheless. Yeah.
It is.
Mm.
Yeah.
Runs out.
it sets you
geez.
up for
Yeah.
just a very clear story of
Mhm.
locking you down in a location, you need to escape. You know, why would you be stuck here fighting ghosts and monsters? Well, because you need to leave, right? Like
Mhm.
it's really pretty straightforward. It's a good story.
This is the mechanics of Pokemon. I don't know if you ever played on the Game Boy.
You're
Yeah.
walking?
Well, yeah, kind of. Yeah, that is what I mean. That.
Oh, well then it's okay.
I mean that. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know how I would react. So I'll
Yeah.
say, yeah.
What do you mean?
And I'll move forward a bit to try to get to some of the combat. But it's a great pair, a great couple to push through this story.
Very trusting.
Yeah.
Didn't he beat a little girl without a face? Or was
Yeah.
That, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, but it was a monster. So
Yeah, that does help.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a good kind of like mentor character
Mhm.
figure to be teaching you.
That's true. Yeah.
So it's very like practically well thought out. That has a lot of synergy with the game mechanics.
Mm-hmm.
And just every time there's the jokes, the humor in this is always absolutely top notch.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm sorry that the game wasn't longer. I really wish it was.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. There
Oh,
it is.
did the faceless girl look like that? Because then I get behind the
I would
punching
get why
thing.
you punch it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I'm a big Shin Megami Tensei fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm glad somebody saw through those statements. I wasn't trying to hide it. And it's a cool system of just kind of that JRPG of you queue up your entire team's attacks before the entire like battle phase
Mhm.
goes off. And like aside from Shin Megami Tensei, it's kind of like Earthbound-y with a little rough around the edges, very childlike in the drawings and the oddity and just these strong characters that are a little quirky, a little odd. And just the way characters are set up for conflicts, little bits of each other's background, it's interesting.
It's actually they're responding in a very like realistic way too.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't seem like these are just like real people.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, do you want to go into that a little more? Explain why and what you're noticing?
Well, just like the way that they're responding, it's not necessarily. It does add to the story, but it doesn't. It's not blatantly placing the story at the forefront. It's just showing who these characters are, and then when they get put in situations just like this, you know, more or less, you get to see that stuff manifest. I like the sassiness of the mentor character.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're telling me that these fights are not similar to Pokemon. I don't believe you.
Well, I mean, that's just a JRPG, you know?
Yeah. Pokemon's my only knowledge of that.
And as it goes, Hannah fights with like a camera, gets better spells and equipment, and you get kind of like that first big power like bump in the demo. And it's nice to see. I think it's a great proof of concept, and like personally, I'm really looking forward to playing the whole game.
Yeah.
think, yeah, like Undertale as well, I see in the chat, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, right, the games we're describing, like the SMT series, Undertale, Earthbound, like they're really beloved series, so I think totally on the right place to make something. And it's a genre where this sort of odd art style, it's like rough hand-drawn art style, is like a huge asset. Big fan of this guy. But we're gonna switch off. We're not gonna go all the way to the first or second boss fights. I think there's only one boss fight, and then we get to the next area. Just for the sake of time here, let's take a look at Study Story, which was designed for mobile, so we're playing in kind of this like vertical aspect ratio, and I'm gonna skip to the gameplay a little bit so that we can talk about the synthesis of narrative and gameplay. You play as a research team. Thank you for this setting, bonus points. And each character, based on their different symbol of research, needs to be placed in a different orientation to the monster to be able to complete your research in the dungeon.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool, actually.
And so, like, the prompting of the story to be just this research team finishing their PhD, one last test, is great. And like the gameplay doesn't have to be realistic, right? It's an excellent game, and like there's no like direct correlation between the two, but an interesting story with a good premise motivates a fun game. And even if there's some dissonance, right, it's totally fine as long as both of your pieces are interesting. And that's a huge asset of this piece. So I'll see if I can remember where the last character needs to go.
Is the blue like the options when you're holding it?
Yeah. It's like chess rules, right? Each main character can only move right by their like very specific pattern, right? Like a chess piece.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay.
And you know, I can leave Ian here because I've already done his research. Harper's already done, even though she got slimed and stuck. And now I'm just trying to remember, and I'm hoping that I can before we gotta jump ahead, where Emma is placed to be able to research a monster. I could have sworn it's like similar to their movement. So I can pass. She already succeeded. And this is totally, again, my bad for jumping past the tutorial. I have no idea where to place our last character. But it's this, like, every encounter with your creatures is this interesting puzzle. And I feel like it's really well designed for mobile.
Yeah.
It's a really cool game. And I would, like, absolutely have a full version of this on my phone, no question. Okay, I'm gonna take one more try.
You're streaming through the games.
Perfect time.
Cool.
Yeah. You can hop in for me.
Yes. Okay. It's an L shape, like a knight in chess. That's right. I know one of them's a diagonal, like a bishop. One of them is adjacent, like a pawn, and then you have the positioning of a knight. And so all these different researchers, and then you come up with another enemy. This guy, he hops around all four corners.
Oh.
So you need to get your characters in position of where they will be on your character's next turn to be able to research.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that a
it
lot,
gets
actually.
really,
Yeah.
really fun.
Okay.
And I like that there's no tutorial. It took me maybe like 15 minutes to be able to crack it and remember the orientation of all of the characters. It was a good time. Really, really like study story.
Yeah, we gotta get out of here.
Yeah, Renee and Prime, you gotta run, but we've got Tyler back there.
Are you get to leave too?
Y'all
I don't have
wanna
to leave.
switch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
We
no,
can swap
Renee,
out.
you
Yep.
can stay.
I'm good to
Dejane's
stay,
gotta
yeah.
bounce, and so does Prime. I think that's everything that was downloaded.
Tapping in.
Yeah, because this was Hamlet Sock. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not crazy. Someone confirm I'm not crazy.
You're not.
Yeah, you're probably not crazy. Yeah. Sane mental health and sound body and mind, or something like that.
So one more live edit.
Alright.
Later Prime, later
See you
Dejane.
soon.
And we'll get into fiction practice, which, placeholder title aside, big fan. And the fact that it's like integrated with this background, it plays really well
Yeah.
here. But Tyler, Renee, feel free to take over commentary,
Sure thing.
and I'll start playing.
Yeah, I don't think I played this game all the way through. I think I just clicked through a little bit previously, but exactly what Matt said about that, like, you know, you got that nice big background with the nice detailed art, I think really helps in setting your scene a little bit. Let's see. What do we...
I was very excited when I saw space. I don't know why. Sci-fi is...
It's a good genre. What can we say?
I enjoy it.
Let's see. Okay. Okay. So now maybe... Oh.
Tyler,
Let's see,
Renee,
yeah.
1 and 2.
Oh.
Let's see. Okay, analysis complete. Select our response.
I want number 1.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was distracted by the word goddamn floating around.
Ah!
Yeah.
Oh, so this is like kind of like we can like figure out what's they're kind of thinking a little bit. Is that the
And
idea here?
influence the narrative somewhat.
Okay.
I think it's a really cool first attempt at whatever this project is going to turn out to be. I think there's a cool idea here of
Yeah.
interacting with this AI.
Yeah. Okay.
What do you think, 1 or 2?
I mean, if we're just like getting, if this person wants to kind of get it over with, which makes me want to kind of like jump into it. There's nothing in the words that are kind of telling me otherwise, other than like if I didn't know this person, I'd be like, oh, number 2, let's ease into whatever we're gonna do.
Let's do it.
But yeah, we get right to the point here. Yeah.
And this effect I'm like obsessed with.
Yeah, no, it's hypnotizing for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it kind of is like a little puzzle in on its own to like be like, okay, wait, what are they talking about here? But I definitely say number 1, what kind of alarm? That's what I'm thinking. I feel like there's a lot of alarms that could be going off in a space station thing. I don't know. Uh-oh. going to kind of generally assume that that's serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds serious.
Yeah.
Let's go with number 2.
Yeah.
I forgot that it was like automated when I first started. I was hitting that restart button. If we're talking improvements, that restart button should be relocated.
Yeah.
There are more words in the spinning circle. They're all big.
Breakdowns. Coincidences.
Redundancies.
Mind-boggling. Okay. Let's see. What have we been asked? Interesting. Okay. Well, he's obviously feeling mind-boggled, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I don't care how he's feeling. Do number 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm heartless.
Cool by me.
Oh. Okay. Good. Yeah. No, that's. Yeah. As a STEM person, I think that's exactly what you should do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CS students confirm. Unplug. Wait 10 seconds. Plug it back in.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to know if it worked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course it did, right? Because it fixes everything.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
90% of the time works 100% of the time.
Yeah. Okay. Their man on the scene. Okay, I get it. Okay. But did the reboot work? But did it work
Have you
though?
tried turning it off and on again?
Yeah, like,
did it work?
did
Is
it-
your screen back on?
Yeah. Ah. Man. Oh, they're really messing with everything. Yeah. I know it's a computer. Anything is possible, really. I'd like to blame this one on Space Corp personally
Yeah.
for
Oh, I get it. I understand
Yeah.
the impulse.
yeah.
The
no,
reboot didn't work, so you know it's really fucked up.
Yeah. Well, also, we're trying to do a fresh install, and they're like, oh no, we're just gonna send a message, add something new to the system. Incorrect. Okay. I say number 2.
I don't think he knows. I want to go
Oh.
number 1.
Okay.
I don't think he knows what caused it.
Fist fight or like how do we decide this?
We can go with number 1.
Renee is weak. She caves.
I picked the last 5. I'll let you have this one for now. Let's see.
I see the word skull floating, and I don't like it.
Oh, so it's essentially just what the person's saying
Yeah.
is kind of in that. Intriguing. It makes me wonder, like, what if we didn't get to have that, like, side dialogue?
Yeah.
And, like, what if, you were communicating with someone over a radio and you couldn't really make out what they were saying, and you just had that, like, floating orb of words, and you just kind of had to... That would make the game much more difficult, that's for sure.
Yeah. I think there's really cool seeds of an inner... Like, I almost think of, like, her story in games like that have been, like, picked up of these, like, detective games, or even, like, Papers, Please, where you're kind of unpacking the narrative as you're having to make choices. I think this is a really exciting concept. So,
Yeah.
good practice, I would say. Good interactive fiction practice. Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's jump to Disgrace.
Ooh. We know all about that.
No, actually, that's not right. We're a concept. Neophyte is gender neutral. I apologize.
Well done,
Just
Matt.
as it should be.
Can we get some narration going?
You know what? If you want that, you'll have to do some more live editing. Our
Oh my
video
God.
cuts off the edge of the text here. Will it let you just? Oh, perfect. I think that shows the whole thing. Okay. All right. Okay. The kingdom of Norland is the frozen crown of the cradle, the shallow sea that connects the Empire's former lands. You spent your childhood on the frozen shores and studied under the old lore masters in the capital city. With your studies nearly complete, you are tasked with gathering information about the disgrace. Travel the islands, gathering accounts of the disgrace, and return to Norland with your findings. If the University Council is pleased, you'll be a lore master in your own right. First, however, speak with your old master to see if he has any advice for you. Okay. Thesis project. Okay. Master Arden's study is on the second floor of the university. Books and scrolls are carefully stored on the shelves in a handful of display cases. Arden himself sits at a wooden desk in the back of the room, writing by the light from the window. He looks up as you enter. Do you want to be?
Oh, it's my turn to read.
Yeah.
from the
Well, you
class?
can read the red lines if you want.
Oh, okay. Neophyte,
He crosses the room in 2 quick strides and wraps you in a bear hug.
my finest student, off on an adventure of their own.
He releases you, dropping you back down, and rests his hands on your shoulders.
How are you feeling?
How are you feeling, Tyler?
Excited.
Yes. Arden nods.
Hey, I felt the same when I was in your position.
Yeah. He steps back.
It's your decision.
He begins more seriously.
But if you want my advice, start here. The midsummer hearings began yesterday. Warlord, is that Hardrada, may be willing to answer your questions about the disgrace.
What do you think? Are we in a rush?
I mean, I'm kind of excited to get going.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying.
it's your decision.
Master Arden repeats and sits back down at his desk.
Just make sure you've finished your travels to the other kingdoms before winter comes.
He offers you a final, gentle smile.
Good luck, Neophyte.
I feel good about our last answer, knowing that we only got a little bit of time before we gotta be back. All right. Okay. Norland, led by the warlock Hardrada, rules the land of the northern cradle from the capital city of Skullholt. Okay. Craggy mountain ranges and beautiful fjords dominate the landscape, and the midnight sun shines through the summer. The Mesterhus, we're gonna say, Warlord Hardrada's place lies in the center of the city. People are thronging there for the midsummer hearings, the time of year when the warlord opens his court to speak to all of his people. Any request can be made without fear, though not all will be granted.
What are we thinking?
We said we wanted to set sail, right?
Yeah. I don't think we need to speak anymore to our guy. He kind of
Agreed.
gave us what we need to
Agreed.
know. If we're already here and there's this thing going on, we could go to it.
That's fair. We can go.
But, well, let's attend the thing, the little hearings. We'll see. Maybe give us some more background on where we are at. In Shackholt, the path to, oh gosh, how would you pronounce that, Matt?
Skullholt?
Skullholt. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'd go with.
Skullholt. Okay. And the path to the, how would you pronounce that the second one with the M? I'm not sure I can see all the
Yeah, I
letters
think
from
you
here.
were right the first time. Mesterus?
Mesterus? Okay.
Yeah.
Great, okay. In Skullholt, the path to the Mesterus is never long. During the hearings, the roads are crowded with petitioners and street vendors selling food and sweet drinks to the crowds, or trinkets and souvenirs to those from far away.
Well, I'm going to take executive function here. I very much want to see the
I agree.
vendors'
Yeah,
tables.
yeah, we got things to do. Okay, an old woman is selling iced honey wine. A plumped middle-aged couple are selling hand-sized meat pies. And a young man in brightly colored clothes is selling wooden toys and rune-carved trinkets. Well, I'll tell you what I want to know more about, and it's rune-carved trinkets right away. You buy a wooden trinket carved with Norse runes. Okay, and then an old woman is selling
We
iced
have to
honey
get the
wine.
alcohol, right?
Yeah, I think so. We're gonna have a journey, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. And then do we want any meat pies?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you need something to
This
go
is a
with the alcohol.
maximalist run of this.
Okay,
You
got
have
it.
spent
got
all
it.
of your money.
Okay. Well, you know, after we complete this thesis, we're totally gonna get a real job in the industry and make a lot of money as a lore master, so it's gonna be fine.
Why are you looking at me when you say that? I don't need this.
Okay. Okay. That's the same thing as before. Hello. We're
Welcome, Coot.
yeah.
We're streaming our game jams. Come on in.
Yeah. Feel free to sit where you'd like. We are on camera, so is Matt. So feel free to join in and converse
Okay.
if you'd like.
Commentate
Yeah.
if you would.
Yeah.
I was just seeing if you guys were busy or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will check the schedule, but definitely want to
No
schedule
worries.
you.
Bye,
Okay.
Koo.
See ya.
Thanks for dropping in. Okay. Let's see.
Okay, so we've done the tables. I don't feel like we need to go back to the university.
No, we're not ready to be back. Do we have any update on like how long we've been out? I don't know. They talked about being back since winter. I don't know if there was any information. There was that little side screen that we clicked earlier that tells
No,
us
that's a
how
good
long it is to
question,
winter.
And like, I don't think so.
Okay.
And I think that would be a good place for improvement, some sort of
Yeah.
metric of time being kept tracked as you take these
Yeah.
actions. I'm like 99% sure this is a Twine game, and as someone that's made a bunch of
Yeah.
Twine
Okay.
games, which I absolutely love, putting in a little tracker, a budget, as it's often called in a novel, that you need to make decisions, and each decision, other than money, right, is motivated by the amount of time you have left.
Yeah,
I think that would
yeah.
be a great place for improvement
Yeah.
of the disgrace.
Yeah, because it makes me wondering, like, do I have time to explore every single option?
Yeah.
Or, should I really, get going?
Yeah.
And that's almost something you could even, like, implement as sort of like a, kind of like a, I'm thinking like a, like there's like slider bars, something at the bottom of the screen where we don't have any text. And just like a little icon that maybe slowly moves along and you can kind of see it getting close to winter.
Yeah.
Because, like if you were in the real world, you'd slowly see, the seasons changing and stuff. But
Yeah, and
I
it's
have-
totally fine
yeah.
for your player not to see everything you've written. And that's kind of like the hard part of making a Twine game, right?
Yeah.
You need to, just like making any game, your player's only going to see like X amount of the content. But especially on the scale we're doing games for this jam, like short pieces, pushing your player and like getting your hook into them so they play, and then assuming they had a good enough time that they'll play again, but at least having like one engaging experience instead of like one slightly meandering experience is always, in my opinion, like the way to go.
Yeah.
Because I really like the disgrace, and I would like it to light a fire under my ass.
yeah. Yeah, no, I want to be pressed for time. But if we keep going, let's see. Okay, you join the throng of petitioners and make your way towards the Methras. I already forgot how we decided to pronounce that.
Mesteros.
Mesteros, okay,
Mhm.
great.
Keep going.
The cloud jostles you relentlessly. The midnight sun offers no respite. Thank you. I have trouble with regular words, so the midnight sun offers no respite from the glare off the brightly painted buildings on either side. Your throat is dry. Okay.
I need vendors here.
Yeah. Yeah, right? What happened to my wine? You're pulled along by the massive crowd whether you want to be or not. I guess we keep going. See where they take us.
We can't go back now.
Yeah. Okay, through the crowds you spot a door slightly ajar. You can probably slip through and bypass most of the crowd. Yeah.
Skip
Shortcut.
the lines.
Yeah. This area of the palace isn't open for the hearings, but neither is it strictly off limits like the keep proper. Okay. In your archivist tunic, act like you belong and no one should bother you. Okay, yeah. Down the long corridor, turn. Down the slightly longer corridor, turn. Down the slightly longer corridor, turn. This is me navigating the buildings on campus. You can hear crowds. Between you and them is a sturdy oak door and one bored-looking guard.
The
And I
meat pie.
love we're getting like that payoff to
Yeah.
To our investment. Good use of Twine.
Yes, of course. The guard takes the proffered pie with a knob and steps aside as you slide through the door. The creak of the hinges is lost in the clamor of the crowd, and you join the masses entering the throne room seamlessly. The throne room of the Mesters is paneled with polished oak, carved and painted with scenes of war and battle. Weapons and riches alike are displayed as trophies on the walls. Braziers set along the walls light the room with a reddish-orange glow, making jewels and gold glow and flicker as if they could leap off the walls. Guards carrying spears and shields painted red and gold stand at attention around the perimeter of the room. Each of them wears a gold armband on their bicep. At the front of the room stands a massive wooden throne polished to a shrine. Two more guards flank it, watching the crowd cautiously. A woman with black paint around her eyes stands at the arm of the great chair in the rich garb of a sorceress, wearing the same armband as the guards. A dagger hangs from her belt, naked blade glinting in the light. All of this is secondary to the figure sitting on the throne. Warlord Hardrada is a giant beast of a man, even towering over those assembled, and his chest is as broad as a bear. His long brown hair is kept out of his face by a gilded winged helmet, and his beard is braided with golden beads. A bright red cloak trimmed with ermine and embroidered with dragons pulls around him and clasps at his throat. Under it he wears a polished suit of mail with a leather belt cinched around his waist, where the jeweled hilt of a sword can be seen. A metal helmet with a gold filigree around the eyes and mail aventail trailing from it, rests on a stand next to the throne. Dressed in all his finery, it is impossible to forget that he was the right hand of the old emperor and supreme commander of his military. He led armies and pillaged coast for centuries before you were even born. At his hard gaze sweeps over those assembled, a hush falls over the room. He is old as hell.
I know, like, when you need to read live, your ability to comprehend language goes out the window, but you are nailing it.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay. Let's see. I can't see the top of it, by the way. Our live editing.
Oh.
Yeah, so just as long as you keep me at the top, we're good.
Gotcha.
Yeah. For a week at the height of summer, this man hears any plea from anyone, no matter how great or small, and now it's your turn. You open your mouth to make your request. As you step forward, your gaze meets Warlord Hardrada's. His eyes burn gold in the firelight, and the heat of his gaze makes your eyes start to water, as though you've been staring into the sun. All words vanish from your mouth as you try to speak.
The student of history desires a tale.
The words roar out of the Warlord Hardrada's mouth like a bonfire. The walls of Mesters bend and flex with the force of it, and the smoldering braziers along the wall shoot flames into the air.
Let it be so.
Hardrada kisses a folded square of parchment and passes it not to the sorcerer standing stock still at his side, but to you. A smear of soot stains the spot where his lips touch the paper.
He scares me.
Yeah.
And I think that'll be it for the disgrace, but it's a good story, and the gameplay of the Twine of you can explore this space, choose how you're confronting these situations. It's really good stuff, and when the prose picks up, it's great, and I would love to see that treatment over the village, the town as well. Getting a little more detail in there, but it's a really good start, and I was happy to see a Twine submission because that takes me back to when I was first making games.
Yeah.
So, awesome.
No, it's
job.
really cool. Yeah.
We got two more. Let's do Bow of Chronos first. Make sure that fits pretty well with what I have. And Renee, you spent some time with Bow of Chronos. Do you want to kind of talk about your experience with it?
Yeah. Chronos was one that I got to sit down and play for a little bit. And I, kind of like we're doing here, I did not read the description beforehand. So I was like, you know what, I'm just going to kind of go in with a blind eye and see what's up. And so I think that worked well kind of in the beginning because, we're in this mysterious room and I've kind of got the idea that, it is supposed to be mysterious and we're not really supposed to know what's going on. And so that played in a little bit there. But I think at some point I did have to go back and read because I was like, am I as confused as I'm supposed to be? I couldn't super tell. But this piece, on the floors kind of implies that this is a map, somehow we've got to use it in this kind of big, open, empty room. But I think one of the things is I noticed while I was playing the game, in this beginning setting, and in the mechanic that I think we're about to get to, was that the room is awfully large, and I think it makes it easy to be like, okay, this thing is in this area, this thing is in this area, but it feels like almost including the speed at which we are able to move around at, that it's a little larger than it needs to be for the amount of things going on. I think I found myself spending a lot of time just walking from place to place around the room, in a way that just kind of was like, oh, okay, now I gotta walk all the way over here, now I gotta walk all the way over there. That a way that just got a little sort of tedious over time. So I think that would be a really great way to kind of I don't want to say simplify things, but kind of condense them a little bit is even just to make the map a little smaller, or, you know, your room a little smaller. Because while it's really cool to like see like, oh, there's something in the distance, what is that? Like that's the distance. And you know, especially with this, you know, kind of like mechanic that has like I think a lot of like cool promise. You know, with the like timing and, you know, trying to put everything together. It's certainly something that took a minute to really get what was going on. And while the instructions were really helpful, I think it would be interesting to implement this mechanic in sort of maybe a more like bite-sized piece before we get to this really big narrative. And whether that's, you know, maybe some of the conversation pieces are already put together for you, and so you only have to like fill stuff in. But it definitely left, I think, towards the beginning, I spent a lot of time focusing on what I was supposed to be doing, what exactly was happening, before I even could get to the meat of the narrative in this conversation that these two kind of souls, beings, people from the past, were having. But
And I remember watching you play it before. I got a chance to play it myself, and there was a lot of trouble in the process I'm doing now of knowing which one to place it on and kind of that like hitbox detection, where it feels like it should work in places that it doesn't.
Yeah. And I think the start of like kind of combating that was kind of helped in the way that the text, you know, the color of the words changes when you're about to be right. But I think there was also a visual cue to know if you had the right person, because once the text was like accepted, it had like a little bit of a white border around it. If we're having trouble with sound.
I'm wondering if it's, because it's got to be in the right place, which makes it solid.
Yeah.
But more feedback to know that you've cracked like the right, you know, position for everything.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
No, so one of those has got to move. Let's see. But yeah. No, it's a very interesting concept of the idea of, you know, you've got this maybe vision that lets you see, you know, fragments of the past, and you're kind of, you know, essentially, I don't know, Tyler, if you got the chance to play through this, but we're like re-putting together a conversation that these people had in the same room that we are now in, or that we were in. And the idea, I guess, is that that's going to like help us figure out what to do in that room with the statues and the map and, you know, whatever. Which is great because I had a lot of questions. I had no idea what to do in that room previously. You know,
and it really demands to like be understood. It's like always playing at the edges of making sense.
Yeah.
And it's really, really cool.
But yeah. No, I think I would love for I think the controls to like be a way that I could go back and reference them, I think, a little bit. I know there was like some instructions that were given on the screen that I didn't realize immediately, so I wasn't able to go back and see like a log of what happened. But first and foremost, just making this map smaller. It would make, I think, this like really cool mechanic feel like a little bit less of a chore once you got, you know, through the whole conversation. If you didn't have to be like, okay, now I've got to go over here, go over there. And the sprint mechanic really helped out with that because, you know, it let us get places a little bit faster, but there was no reason for me to do anything other than sprinting everywhere. Which I wish I could do in real life. Maybe I get to classes on time. But let's see.
This one.
Yeah. But no, it was kind of like neat. You have to like kind of like look at the room and like stare and be like, wait, I think that's another, you know, sentence or something coming in. Let me try to find it.
Yeah, Matt, did that one appear because you were moving the arrow or just because you moved close enough?
I was close to it, so they have like a distance to them.
Okay.
That they'll appear.
Yeah. But they only appear when you like are at the right spot in the arrow. So they've got like kind of like a range they'll show up in.
Okay.
So kind of rounding out the rough edges of some clarity of the presentation of information would make the like obscure things feel better than the mechanics and other aspects also feeling obscure.
Yeah. Well, and then it'd let you like really focus on the, you know, the obscureness of it, but like the mystery. because you're like, what is happening? I really want to figure it out. And you can kind of like stay in that, if you're able to get through the puzzle like this a little bit quicker, then you can, keep with that, like, what's going on mindset, instead of, kind of getting pulled sideways by like, okay, 5 minutes doing this, I'll be back maybe to that curiosity.
But it's an extremely compelling, like, presentation and
Yeah.
story. There we go.
Uh-huh.
But even like this, knowing I've hit, being off a tiny bit versus being correct, if I had a little more feedback or a little bit of a bigger window to get it precise, it would feel better.
Yeah.
And that's again, like rounding out the edges.
Yeah.
There's the confirmation that I got one right.
Haha.
But yeah, Bove Chronos, amazing. Really, really cool. I would love to see this further developed.
Oh yeah.
And last here we have another visual novel, Bull and Mouse. Are we gonna take voice acting, or are we just gonna sort of discuss the game?
We can go either way.
Let's just discuss.
Yeah.
So I mean, first of all, like, art, somebody like absolute tons of polish.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Really well presented visual novel.
Mm-hmm.
It's, a little fun, a little like not super realistic, has some style to it, really written up script. It's good. I mean, it's fun, and the presentation really is inviting, just with a soft color palette.
Yeah. That color palette kind of like helps kind of like round some of the like harshness of, like the characters and like the art pieces. It kind of like keeps a calm over mind,
And I feel like the big like black lines around the text box really like draws your eyes to the text.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With it like moving and typing out.
And no, it's nice to see something in a game jam game that is stylized, right? It helps it really stand out. And as much as I love like Twine games, they're usually just that straight text, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's good, but if you want to set yourself apart in a narrative game jam making a visual novel, put your time into the art assets, right? Because it can do a lot to communicate characterization outside of just dialogue.
Yeah. No, I will say, out of all the games that, we're watching this on like a TV, so out of all the games that, we've been sitting here on the couch reading, that nice like contrast in the black and white area has been the easiest to read for how small the text is.
Yeah.
And since it's got all those nice assets in it, it can stick with that black and white text and not feel like it's losing any, style or anything with it.
Yeah, no, it's nice contrast, right? It's clear where it needs to be clear. It's lots of personality and characters that can just exist on screen. With limited animation, right? You can over-design your characters and that be like an asset rather than a drawback. But yeah, and I know we started off late, so thank you for everyone that stuck around as we discuss some of the winners, the best performers of our narrative game jam. This is our new setup, and we also have some technical problems. I'm distant and quiet, and our cameras are weird, and our setup is weird, but this is our first stream like this in our new studio, so thank you for bearing with us.
Yeah.
We have lots of notes to improve. And thank you for everyone that submitted.
Yeah.
Out of everything we ran through today, and I know Tyler, you joined us a little late. Renee and Tyler, what were like your top games that you saw today?
Out of the ones that we played here today,
Yeah.
let's see. I think, I mean, like everyone else, the Dead Man in a Suitcase, I think it was called.
Mm-hmm.
That one was really cool, and I think also, you got to see like a lot of potential that it had, and it was something that was like really scoped well for a game jam. It was, you know, fairly like this is the game, this is what it's gonna be, and it kept it simple, and so it, you know, let the developers, you know, kind of submit something really polished, and that was really fun. And that's also kind of like a unique thing. I'd never think about a game where I have to keep a man in a suitcase while I hold a conversation with a widow.
Yeah.
Like, I would have been like, what? But
Yeah,
we were
that
also,
has a lot of synergy to it and
Yeah.
reinforces the tone and the stress.
yeah,
It's
everything
well
is kind of
thought out.
nice. Yeah, well thought out, I think, is kind of puts it really great. And I think also the one that we were playing a moment ago, The Disgrace, that one, the narrative was kind of really getting interesting towards the end, and I liked that, you know, we were able to, you know, interact with the narrative, and the stuff we picked was, you know, almost immediately, I don't know if like having consequences, but like, you know, like affecting our narrative right away. That was also really fun, I think, especially when we got to like the description of meeting that warlord. I was like, ooh, who is this? You know, I immediately was like really intrigued and be like, please don't kill me, but what do you have to say? So
I'm a little torn that we had to stop that one because I wanted to become a lore master and be as rich as him.
yeah,
But I think I'll get past it for now. And then one of them, I came in towards the tail end of when you guys were doing it. Study story. I like chess and puzzles, so that one I really enjoyed.
I would just quick segue, the like limited character animation, just really fantastic poses. And like I know with visual novels, they have their tropes of the different like character poses. I feel like they were able to do something. The creators of Bull and Mouse were able to do something really unique with the character portraits, and just this unique art style is like oozing from every variation on these characters. But yeah, study story, absolutely fantastic.
yeah. What about you, Matt?
Well, Dead Man Suitcase, huge standout. I think it's a tight game, and it has, you know, I just want to see it expanded without any notes, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing I would change, I would just add things. The other is Bowl, I'm getting my words mixed. I love Bull and Mouse as a narrative. It's a great narrative. I'd like to see it more in our straight like visual novels. I would like to see continually expanded. But Bow of Chronos is just like rich with cool ideas. Its presentation needs to be tightened up a little bit, and it needs to be obscure where it should be obscure and like immediately understandable in other areas, to give people, what did I call it? The Dark Souls of our game jam, right? Where all the mechanics are there, it's obtuse, it's a little difficult, but the understanding of how it works is part of the appeal, right? Both mechanically and narratively.
That's true.
And that works together really well. But something that, you know, a very successful game that has a mystery or has obscure controls, they'll ease you into it, and sort of like the way I think Renee and I were talking about, the way a platformer will build on some of its mechanics, and simple things will be simple, right? Like, again, going back to FromSoft games, you have a light attack, you have a heavy attack, you have a dodge, and you can block and throw out magic. And it gets more complicated from there. I love that animation. But the basics are very straightforward and comfy. And Bow of Chronos just needs a little tweaking to be comfy, so I can focus on understanding the complicated aspects.
Yeah. No, huge amounts of potential there.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. But, you know, thank you to everybody that submitted to the jam. I think this was one of our most successful, one of our highest like number of overall entries. And I was happy to see some of our familiar faces from our Discord from years past get in, make another game. Like, that honestly makes me feel awesome to see that since we started Neophyte Studios, folks are still interested. And we're thinking maybe we'll be able to do another one this semester, so keep an eye out kind of May, April to see number
Yep.
6. Anything else you want to say, Renee, Tyler?
I think you about summed it up over there. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I think that's it for us. Thank you for joining us, and if you're watching this back on the VOD later, check out our
My bad, I
Discord,
thought it was
YouTube,
locked.
and everything.
Alright.
And we will see you all later.
Bye.